Alright. What I have here is a Buck 119 that I bought new in 1979. I've had it forever. It's not the best survival knife, best bushcraft knife. I've used it hunting, camping. When I was younger, I used it to throw and broke the handle, so I made a handle out of apple wood that kind of replicates the original handle. Works really well. I'm going to try to start a fire with a Bic lighter that doesn't have any gas in it. It's completely empty. Cut the bottom off of it. All it is just the flicker thing that creates a spark. And what you have to do to help that out is with your knife, just pry this metal thing off, metal shield, and it exposes the spark a little bit more. What I'm going to do with that, just to make it a little more of a challenge, so I'm going to get a drink of water. And then I'm going to pour some of that water into this container. Spill that. Put that lighter that I have that just sparks in there. Submerge it completely in water. We'll let that sit for a few minutes. This is a lighter I usually carry, or one similar to it, just a Bic lighter. It'll produce a good flame. Those flames run about, it's kind of windy out here today, so they'll burn about 4,000 degrees. That's what butane burns at. So to get started, let's prepare a little bit of wood here. I'm not a fan of batoning my knife. It's the most valuable tool I've got if I need it. So normally what I'll do is, if I've got a piece of wood, I'll make a wedge. Once I get a little started crack, this wood is splitting really easy, so I'll baton a piece of wood all day long. I've got a pile of materials here, but I'll practice a little bit right here while my lighter soaks in that water. Just cut some shavings, and the more you have, the better it is. Get my fire set up with some of this other stuff that I'd already created. I'll start out with the finest materials in at the bottom, accessible to your flame. I like a lot of this kind of material because it'll start a fire even if your wood's a little bit damp. And put some heavier stuff on there. My helper just can't help it mess with my cotton balls, which I'll set up here in a minute. What are you up to, cat? Alright, now to the cotton balls. I take Vaseline, or petroleum jelly in this case because it's a store brand. Fluff this cotton ball out. We'll get a big dab of Vaseline on our fingers. Just work it into this cotton ball. This is how you make Vaseline soaked cotton balls. I suppose if you heated up the Vaseline a little bit, made it liquid, it would be really easy, a lot less messy. I carry a little canister of these pre-made in my 10 essentials pack so that I don't have to get all messy every time I do this, but just work it in really well. I've experimented with this before and gotten 8 to 10 minutes of burn time out of one of these. Now that I got that all soaked with Vaseline, take a little bit of this dry cotton ball. And I just want to fluff it out really, really loose. Then I want to take a twig. This stuff will snag on there really easily, so that's my little fire lighter material. Just wipe off that excess Vaseline right there. Now there's this thing. Let's see if we can get it out of there. So jeans are for is wipe your hands on them. You have to flick all the water out of this lighter, otherwise it won't spark. You got just a tiny spark once in a while there. Still pretty wet. I'm getting a little spark almost every time. Let's see if we can warm up that flint a little bit. Get it to dry out a little faster. There, I'm getting a pretty good spark. So the little stick is because once this lights, it'll burn up really quick. Push that in there. Once that Vaseline gets burning, we'll have a fire. We put more wood on there. It's really windy today, so I'm not going to build an inferno, but we can start piling a little bit bigger pieces on there. Maybe split this again. We've got a few other bigger pieces, but you get an intermediate fire. But like I say, we've got a pretty good wind going here today, and I don't really want to build a big fire, so I think that's about it for this demonstration.